Hi, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the Endless Celts Podcast, which again, boys, is brought to you by Manscaped. The best in men below the waist grooming Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. I've engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. Their fourth generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0, has now launched all over Europe and features wireless charging, a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, and comes with an additional guard size 1 to 4 to fine tune your trim. And thanks to their advanced skin safe technology, you can now feel confident shaving your balls, fellas. So join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and a free worldwide shipping with the code CELTS at manscaped.com, and the link will be in the description below. And I think it's pretty bad of myself. I don't know that off by heart yet.
It's a hell of a lot of words. Well. My punditry skills, just a touch on that. See, you mentioned the guard thing there. That is dynamite, because I was always nicking myself with other stuff before. Hey, get yourself this stuff, man. It's brilliant.
It is. We were discussing it in the previous podcast. Your favourite style, ball chafer. It's some gear.
Ball chafer deodorant. Slap that on every morning now.
No longer am I howking it the jeans.
But look, as I always say, we'll keep the show rolling. I'm joined by show regulars William and Ross. How are you both?
Good, mate.
Very well. A decent performance, and it's December now, so I'm getting right into my Lindor advent calendar. Life can't get much better, to be honest with you. I went all out. Tenner. Fucking tenner. I went all out.
Can't hide money, sir.
I know, I just didn't put a coupon on the weekend.
That's if you got money, you can't hide it.
Well.
But there, we're recording this fresh off a 1-0 win against Hearts at a packed out Paradise, another sold out. It was great to see the lights showing up beforehand, added the atmosphere. But William, as we always do, brief summary of the game. For me, it was an absolute slobber knocker. Look at that for a big word, eh? I've been trying to come up with words for these types of games. It was dogged, workman-like performance, and this does adds to this. It was a slobber knocker. First half, it was Celtic's game. I felt sorry for the people who do the stats and the passing graphs, because Celtic were just all over the pitch, bang, 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 bang. Second half, Hearts came out a bit more, made a few substitutions, attacked us, and they did look quite dangerous, to be fair, in some parts of that game. And fortunately, we got the goal as well, but it was offside, we have to be honest, but sometimes you need a rub of the green, and Celtic are due the rub of the green now, William. And, I mean, we did lose 3 players tonight, Welsh, Ralston and Jota, and the Glasgow hospital, wherever that's located, is going to be busier than ever trying to sort them guys out from the physio team. Your man Tim must have covered some yards on that pitch. But when I seen Jota go down as well, it was just horrendous. But before we get into all that, how was your feeling in the game?
I think you summed it up pretty well there, mate. A game of 2 halves. I thought first half we were as good as we've been. I think the stats, we were over 70% possession and 7 corners, and I thought we pressed them really well again. I thought Ralston was excellent before he went off again, especially for the goal. Kyogo just worked his socks off all game. He just doesn't stop. I think in the 88th minute he tracked the guy back to beyond the halfway line. The guy just is like Duracell Bunny, just doesn't stop, man. Second half again we were pushing for that second goal, and we were just getting caught in the counter a few times, I thought. But I thought we defended really well. I thought Starfelt had an absolutely superb game. Another decent performance. These are the sort of games and the sort of results that win you league titles. It's not all about thrashing teams and winning 6-0. It's about grinding out these results. I thought we did more than enough to win the game. We were by far the better side, and I think whether it was offside or not, I think the result was the right result in the end.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree that with the amount of play we had, Ross, it was going to come at a point where we're either going to score a bar load or to score one. I know that sounds stupid, but that's the type of game it was. And on this podcast, we are quite crap at the score predictions, aren't we?
Horrendous. I mean, I didn't make a prediction, but I wouldn't have said 1-0, so aye, horrendous. First of all, can I say, I can't believe you got through the word slobber knocker, but can't say a badder, but hey ho. But aye, touching on the game itself, sorry Stephen, that'll be the last time I pigeonhole poke you, or whatever you want to call it. Aye, the game itself, I think Willie and yourself sort of summed it up pretty well. The first half hour, I thought we played really well. I think the first 20 minutes, I think with something like 100 successful passes. So that tells you a lot about how we were playing in the first half hour of the game. But then we didn't. I can't even mind how long it was into the game when we got the goal. Was it about 40 minutes or something like that?
33.
33. Well, give or take 7 minutes, eh? But aye, but I mean, they played, as I said, they played really well the first half hour, and then they didn't sort of get that goal, but then obviously they got it in 33 minutes, but they just kind of fell away a wee bit because they didn't have that cutting edge, if you like. And then in the second half, Hearts made a few substitutions, came back into the game, and we at times midway through the second half, thought we rode our luck a wee bit, and we were lucky towards the end when Barry Mackay missed that chance. That was a big chance for Hearts, and it would have really been a real sore blow to take. But we got the 1-0 win. We played really well, as I've said, in the first half. Then we fall away. So you take the 1-0 win, and at the end of the night, it's a bigger than humongous result after the result that Rangers got last night.
Yeah, 100%. It keeps the pressure on, and we'll have to keep doing that, William. And by the way, just on a side note, I detest coming on Muir too. It's the worst time of my life. So
can I just say, you do the schedule, you condone it.
What's that? Sucker for punishment, isn't it, William? That's what I am right now. We used to. But I mean, Ross is right to point out we got that goal on the 92nd minute with Kyogo coming at the front post. No joking. We got it on the 33rd minute. Ralston with a fantastic whip ball in. It is one each. Keep scoring, Alex. I'm coming for you tonight. Ralston with a fantastic whip ball into Kyogo. He finishes offside. Yes, it was. Fair enough. But rubber the green, William. We've got it. I mean, in the first half especially, the way we were playing, especially the first half an hour, as Ross alluded to, it was fantastic. And unfortunately, in the lead up to that goal, we'll have to talk about it as well. Ralston, it looked like he pulled his calf and he had to go off injured. And Juranovic coming out right back. About the goal and Juranovic as well, how do you think Juranovic started at right back and the goal?
I thought Juranovic was decent, pretty much like what he's been doing on the left. I think he's like I've said in previous podcasts. I think he's a fantastic talent. I honestly think he could play anywhere in the park. I think he's got the technical ability to play on the wings in the middle of the park. He's always comfortable on the ball, takes it in the feet. I think he's very much like Kalmak in that regard, where he takes it and he can turn and swivel and play another pass off. So I think you could put him anywhere and he's going to do a job for you. Everybody knows that listens in how much a fan I've been of Ralston this year. I think I really, really, really hope he doesn't. It's not too long because, again, he's made that first goal. He's actually been he was actually in the middle of the park and received it first and played it into Forrest's feet, who then played it out into Rogic, and then he's playing the overlap, and that ball into the front post is just Kyogo just needs to get his foot in it, and it's a goal.
Yeah,
superb goal. So yeah, like you said, it was another great performance, but it's a bit bittersweet when your boys are dropping like flies. Thought I was watching a scene of Saving Private Ryan at one point because everybody was just bodies just dropping everywhere.
I mean, one player as well, Ross, I want to touch upon, as you just rightly said, I've seen all over Twitter as well. I thought Carl Starfelt was absolutely phenomenal, and he was an absolute, just a presence at the back. It was good he came back because Cameron Carter-Vickers had missed out due to personal reasons. We all hope all right's there and he comes back soon. But unfortunately as well, it did look like Starfelt took a knock, so whether he's going to be fit for Dundee United, it's going to be a wee bit of a concern. But in that game, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
Aye, absolutely brilliant, I thought. And before the game started and you see the lineup, you're worried because you're looking at that game the night and you think it's going to be a fairly difficult game. It's obviously at Parkhead, but Hearts are a forum team as well. They're close to us in the league. It's a big game, and Starfelt's been out for a number of weeks now, and you think he's coming out the cold into a game like that where he'll find himself under pressure. And the last time he played at Tynecastle, although it was his debut and stuff like that, he was found wanting. So he probably could have been going into that game slightly nervous, but he looked assured, he looked confident, and I have to say that John Tomlinson was right all along.
Oh, don't say that, please.
I'm
Won't hear the
absolutely
end of that.
distraught.
But William, see as well on Carl Starfelt, he came back from an injury. He was out for 3 to 4 weeks, and I mean, probably Postecoglou's plan was to give him 60 or 70 minutes, but the way the game went, he had to do the full 90. And it just proved the fact as well. I think you're right when you bring up John. He's stuck by him. He's pointed out things that he's done more positive than negative. And me and William, I think we were the ones saying at the start of his career he was kind of shite, but he's grew into that role, and he came back tonight, and he brought a common head again, much like Figures would have done if he was beside Welsh. But I thought Starfelt and Welsh played particularly well together.
Definitely, I've been very critical of him this year. Bearing in mind, this is just one game. He'll probably come in.
I know.
Lay on a plate for somebody next week. I thought it was his best game in the Celtic shirt.
A few times, though.
He has. He's been decent. For me, he's just always had that. There's always been like one moment in a game where he would give the ball away and it creates a chance for the opposition. But tonight he was absolutely colossal in both boxes. By the way, there was a few corners he was making a menace himself and getting his head on the ball. The aerial threat going forward, and he was superb at the back as well. I thought Welsh was excellent as well, and for me, Calmack was just again covering every blade of grass. There was a couple of counter attacks that he stopped, and he was just everywhere tonight. Again, absolute colossal. Just a captain's performance. See, for me, the last 2 matches, Aberdeen as well, I thought he was man of the match. I thought he was tonight again. But Starfelt was absolutely superb. Definitely his best game in a Celtic shirt.
100%. And another thing I noticed as well, just sort of quick thing, he's starting to play the ball upfield instead of kind of turning on himself and playing the safe pass, which is good to see. So Postecoglou's Memphis is getting through to him. But you bring up Calmack, and we did discuss him on the last podcast at length for us. But again, he's a guy that you just have to keep speaking about. There was a point in the second half where I think maybe before the Mackay chance, if you can remember it, the ball just went through the box and one of their players shot, but he blocked it. He was there as a centre back, basically blocking the shot. And he got up and cheered the tackle as if to say, "Come on, guys, get stuck in." And that's the type of guy that Cal McGregor is for Celtic at the moment. He's the guy that drives them, and it's refreshing to see a player put that much effort in, isn't it?
Aye, he gives everything every single game. Even last season when things weren't going well, you could see that it meant everything to him. On the park, he was still trying like a bear. It wasn't coming off. He didn't have a great season like the rest. It doesn't help that everybody round about you is having a nightmare. But even in interviews last season, you could tell he was gutted. And you could see his demeanour and the way he spoke and all that. He didn't have answers, and he was gutted that he couldn't give the fans answers as to how we were playing. And he's been given that. We've said it before. He's been given that captain role, and he's just grown into it. And he's been immense for the minute he was given the armband, and he's just not looked back. Another fabulous performance tonight.
And then obviously within the game, we lost 3 players to injury, and most noticeably, William Felipe Jota just running. He pulls up, and that looks a bad one to me. Looks like he's probably pulled his hamstring. Hopefully it's not a full tear. But when you lose him and you bring on Mickey Johnson, and we're going to speak about Mickey Johnson here, lads. And for me, that is a massive drop off in quality, isn't it?
He was dreadful tonight. I mean, I've not really bashed him before, but tonight it just nothing was coming off for him. I don't think he made one complete pass. I don't think he beat a player. That chance he should score. He should bust the net all day. He's about 6 yards wide. He's hit it as well. Jota's going to be I really hope he's not out for long. He's in the past 6-8 weeks, he's been by far our best player. Jota, easily our most creative player. There's been games where he's took it by the scruff of the neck, and much like we're talking about Calmack, he leads by example and gets the crowd going, and he would be massive. So hopefully it's not a bad one. Like you say, I was watching the game with my dad, and I said, like, when they were all dropping like flies, and then Starfelt went down, but I was like, no, Starfelt's, he's been kicked. The other 3 have actually went down. They're like, with nobody around him, muscle injury. So it doesn't look great. So hopefully none of them are too bad.
I say Mikey Johnson and Ross takes a big drink of water. We all know what's coming next here.
I think that's straight vodka, is it no?
I mean, Jota, we've all talked about him. It's fantastic the way he plays. 5 goals in 5 games leading up to the game tonight. And even in flashes tonight, although he wasn't probably at his best, he'd probably admit that himself. Most Celtic fans would. He's one of these guys you keep on the pitch, Ross, as long as you can, because he can make that difference. Mickey Johnson, come on. And we actually spoke about this the last podcast when we were on. Like, I brought it up in terms of the massive drop off in quality, and you've definitely seen that tonight. And Mickey Johnson, albeit he's come through the youth ranks, and there's been a few games in the past where he's lit it up, he scored some fantastic goals, but tonight he just looked about 2 yards off the pace, didn't he?
I don't know. I wrote a short story about Mikey Johnson during the game. Mikey Johnson isn't good enough for Celtic. The end. That's it. He's no good enough. He's had enough chances now for me. I know he's had injuries. He's too lightweight. It's evident he's too lightweight. People must have told him that. I mean, I'm a wee guy, but like, you can bulk up a bit. He's not made any effort to bulk up. He's not changed. His body's not developed in any way, shape or form for he broke into the team. So for me, like, he's been out injured. Okay, can he do... I'm not fully aware of what his injuries were, but I'm sure you can do some upper body work when you're out injured and try and bulk yourself up a bit and make yourself that bit stronger. It looks to me like he's done none of that. I just don't think he's... I don't think the commitment's there. I don't know if he's... It's difficult to judge a guy. I don't know if his head's in the right place. I mean, I've never been a football player. I've never been through a long-term injury, but I dare say mentally it can be quite draining. But you either go one way or the other in terms of like still like pushing yourself on, want to get to that next level. And he's not done it. For me, it sounds harsh, and I don't like to have a go at the guy, but I just don't think he's got a future at Celtic any longer. When you look at, like you've said, you look at the drop-off. If you're wanting to have Jota in the team, of course he's going to be the first choice, but then you need your second choice to be... It's very rare that your second choice is going to be as good as your first choice, clearly. But you want it to be as near as damned. And Mikey Johnson's a million miles off of where Jota is. And that can't be the guy. I said it tonight in the chat when he went off. I said, put Forrest out there and bring Abado on before I would bring Mikey Johnston on. All day long, but he's went with Mikey Johnson again. I don't know if he's seen things in training. He's maybe doing stuff in training to make Ange keep putting him in there. But for me, if you've not got if Jota's out, I put Forrest out there all day long, every day.
So, by the way, it's a good point with the whole lightweight thing. Like I say, it was the same thing with Ryan Christie and Rodgers punted him out, tell him to get, tell him to bulk up, tell him to get stronger and fitter, and that's exactly what he done. But Mickey Johnston's just he's a twiglet, isn't he?
Aye.
I feel like every time he comes on as well, he looks like he's just trying far too hard. It seems like every time it's about, it's like tense and like anxious rather than just going. I think it's freedom going in and. You know what I mean,
I think as well, like he's probably
could be a constant thing, like Franny had said. Sorry, Steve.
He's probably mentally thinking, I don't want to get injured again. So he's trying to lay the ball off quickly and stuff like that. But again, as a professional footballer, I mean, you look at it with all sorts of players dropping confidence. Abada, the most recent example, he's going to pick himself back up again. We're all pretty certain about that. Mickey Johnson hasn't, as you said, Ross, hasn't really took that next step. And on a bigger level, you bring up Ryan Christie going to Aberdeen. Look at James Maddison going to Aberdeen, and then look at him now for Leicester City. Do you know what I mean? He went and done that learning curve experience, got bulked up, played Scottish football. Now he's probably one of the best number 10s in the Premier League on his day. So Mickey Johnson, there's examples for him to follow, and just unfortunately hasn't quite grasped that, like, took that opportunity. And as you said, Ross, I'll come to yourself, William, for this. Do you think in the case going forward, if it's a bad turn, he's out for 6 to 7 weeks, Is it a case of Forrest going to the left and Abada to the right and Kyogo for the middle?
Definitely, that's what I would go with, 100%. It frustrates the life out of me because Angie's style should suit Johnston's game.
Yeah.
He's all about wingers and speed and attacking fullbacks and getting balls into the box, and that's what Mickey Johnston's built for. But he's just not shown it. For me, I would definitely go Forrest and Abada on the wings if Jota's out for a while. That's definitely the way I would go.
Fingers crossed he isn't, though, eh?
Yeah.
I know.
And then obviously that brings in the question for January. Some squad depth is definitely needed, and that was definitely evident tonight as well. And
he's
we
always
spoke of him.
He's still got
Go
the
ahead,
option. I know we all hate it and we don't want it to happen, but he's still got the option putting Kyogo out on the left and playing one of the. I would like to see a bit more of Giamakis or Giacomakis.
I agree with that, Willie. Aye.
So I mean, and see this sort of style we play. Like, and I'm in no way saying that Kyogo shouldn't play through the middle. He's our number one striker by a country mile. His movement's unbelievable, and he's our number one striker and should be playing there 99.9% of the time. But in that team with that style of play, Big Gio should be scoring goals for fun. If we're getting out to the wingers and we're getting balls in the box and set plays, and we've got Turnbull who's can put it on a 50 pence piece, he should be scoring goals for fun. So I'd like to see a bit more of him if we can.
I agree.
Aye.
And a name that kept coming to my head. This is going to be another Yuri Yarzik moment here, fellas. So strap yourselves in. But we're talking about obviously strikers with like an aerial presence. And I turned to McGrath the night and said to him, "This would be a perfect game for likes of remember Jan Vinegar Hesselink? Just bang, he would have been on the end of probably 90% of them balls into the box." Leading up to their goals, do you know what I mean? That's the type of player we're missing. And as you rightly said, Giacomakis, Giamakis, whatever way you want to call him, he's unfortunately been injured. Most of his time he's been at Celtic and never really had a chance. Here's hoping he does come into the squad and does a job for us, but because it's going to be important, obviously, coming to January and the games and stuff. But we speak about misses. Ross and James Forrest, for me, missed 2 sitters. The first one, on replay, yes, it shows that Craig Gordon's punched the ball into his foot. Obviously, it rebounded off him. He didn't quite control it. That's went past the net. But the second moment he got laid in, I was like, I've never seen someone telegraph a finish so much in all my life, to be honest. What was your opinion on his misses?
I'm actually trying to remember the second one. It's totally slipped my mind.
Kyogo played him in and he was 1-on-1 with Gordon. And he saved it with his foot.
Aye. You're saying to me there, and I'm going, I can't mind that second chance. He's got to score. Aye, of course he has. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Maybe he's got too much time to think about it. But the first one, I think, I wouldn't say it's a sitter as such. You said it yourself. Gordon's got that. You see it in the replay. He's got like a touch when he's stretching, Gordon, but then just before Forrest makes connection, he gets another touch again, like that's totally unexpected, and it pushes it towards Forrest's like sort of foot shin, and it just rebounds off him and hits the post. So you can't really legislate for that. You probably have to say it's good goalkeeping by Gordon because it's slightly, maybe not as good, but slightly similar to the save that Joe Hart made last Thursday. And well, I mean, Willie had a go at that. The Leverkusen striker for that, he's got to like just take the keeper. Aye, I think where that isn't as similar with the Forest one is he's not got that opportunity to wipe out the keeper. He thinks he's just going to put that in, and Gordon gets an abnormal touch really because it doesn't go the way you expect it. You expect it to shoot away to the side, but he actually knocks it towards Forrest. So he probably should take one, and the other one you can't really legislate for the way it rebounds off him.
What about yourself, William?
What about myself? Should he score?
In terms of the misses, yeah.
First one, I think.
I think we're talking about Susan there.
First one. I like no. I think Ross was bang on. Second one, he's got to score all day long. If he lifts the ball rather than playing it along the deck, it's a goal all day. By the way, we need to talk about. I don't know if you're going to go on there, but you hate to talk about Big Tam.
Oh, Willie.
back
Big
injury,
Rosie.
and he was absolutely electric again. And another one just
Outstanding.
back for injury, and there was points in the game that I thought the Hearts players were. It was an audition for the WWE because he's just skinning them, and they're all trying to grapple him to the ground. He's just that good. His feet are just. I don't know. See, when he retires, he should go on Strictly because he's winning it. No bother with the feet he's got.
Honestly, I totally agree with you. Like, I was sitting there, like, sometimes you look at him, he doesn't look like a strong guy, but his strength and durability, like, at times is no limits. Like Willie says, they were trying to like wrestle him to the ground, and he just kept going. He stayed on his feet, and I was sitting there like Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. He's not human. He is like a piece of iron. It's unbelievable.
See, as a unit as well. Like, I'm a massive David Turnbull fan. I think he's unbelievable player. But in the number 10, we are such a better free-flowing attacking football side with Rogic in that position. And it's just like Turnbull can't take the ball into feet with his back to goal and spin three men and take 2 or 3 men out of the game and play a pass like Rogic does. And he's just magic for me. Absolutely magic.
Great to watch. It's great to watch when he does it.
My favourite thing is when he takes the ball in the half turn. I love it because he just gets his body in a position between him and the defender, and he just spins him, plays a through ball or whatever, he plays it out wide. He's an absolutely sublime player. And I think, as you said, number 10 should be his. Turnbull's playing slightly deeper, McGregor playing the number 6. I think that's probably how Postecoglou wants to go going forward. Another thing as well, I mean, we finished like with a back four of Juranovic, Beaton, Starfelt, and Montgomery. Now, if injuries go bad and they go south, and the likes of Vickers is out for 3 weeks for personal reasons, obviously don't know what that is. A game, we wish him well. Welsh has went off with an injury, and Ralston. Would you be confident getting into these hectic schedules, William, with that back four?
Yes and no. I think they're still like that back four is good enough to win most games. I think, but the way we play, it's not a coincidence that these guys are going down with muscle injuries because it's such a high intensive pressing game we play. A few more injuries and we might be lacking. I don't think have we got any other centre halves? We not, have we?
You're a Giddy.
Oh yeah, Giddy. We can maybe put Liam Shaw in midfield. Bring back Liam Shaw.
Free the Shaw.
Aye.
But on the back four, you always take me down some road somewhere. On the back four, Ross, in terms of obviously, I mean, William's right. There's internationals in that back four. Juranovic, top player for Croatia, Beaton, captain for Israel, Starfelt starts for Sweden. You should be confident enough, but we've seen it all too many times. And I thought, especially in the second half, Hearts did cause problems towards the last 10 minutes of that game. For me, like, looking at the next 10 games, we can't really afford to drop points, and it's just a bit iffy with that back four, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's not your first choice. But we're assuming that Carter Vickers is going to be out for more than one game here.
Yeah.
But I mean, Juranovic on the right, I'm happy with. I think Ralston's been brilliant, but he's come onto the right hand side the and it's not changed any really. In actual fact, I felt that obviously that's his preferred position, and I felt he looked more comfortable there, in my opinion, and even right down to the point where he got a shot off with his right foot. I've never seen him in the left back position, getting in that position and getting a shot away. I know he blended it over the bar, but I've never seen him getting a shot away in the left back position. And he was played there the night for, I don't know, best part of an hour, and he got in a position to get a shot off. Again, he didn't score, but it's by the by. But Montgomery, I thought, came in and done all right the night. I would, again, not long term, but I would be okay. And for the next maybe 3 games, 4 games, I can't mind exactly who we're playing. But domestically, I think we can get by. But and then you've got Starfelt and Beaton, who I think domestically again can get us get by and get us through. But it's not our preferred choice, obviously. But I still think we gonna. Who do we play next in the league?
Dundee United.
Dundee United at Tannadice. Right.
Dundee.
I still think going there with that back four, you would still fancy us to win because of the firepower we've got. I'm not saying we would keep a clean sheet, but I would still fancy us to win with the firepower we've got. So again, like we've alluded to, we need to add to the squad. It's evident, and especially when they're dropping like flies tonight. It was like a blinking episode of Casualty on a Saturday night. But aye.
What's the latest with Scales?
God, I have no idea. No idea.
Because he can play both centre half and left back, can he?
He can. He can.
I just don't know why he's not getting put in.
As far as we all know, I think Postecoglou hasn't said he hasn't fit. It's just one of them things. Again, he signed and he probably won't get much of a look in. And that's just the way it is. It's, again, just a waste of money for me. Unless he comes good, which again, I'll be made to eat my words like he always does. But look, we cover every aspect of the game, William, and that includes the good and the bad. And there was, unfortunately, some bad things at the corner of the Green Brigade tonight. And Barry Mackay got over to hit the corner kick, not once but twice, got objects for that. And the second time, it looked like a full battle of party. It got chucked and hit him on the back. It's not needed, is it?
No, there are other energy drinks out there as well, by the way, folks. We're not sponsored by them, so don't go out and buy it.
What's Manscaped? Don't worry.
It's just nonsense again, isn't it? I mean, we've talked about them a lot on this pod before, and they do so much good. They really do. But it's these sort of stupid things that hit the back pages, not the good stuff. So it just gives us a bad rep. Some shot right enough. I thought it was Phil the Power Taylor in the crowd. I can say it was superb, and it was every time he went over. It's just you're sitting with your head in your hands, just thinking, for God's sake. Just like I say, that's the stuff that hits the back pages, not the good stuff. So, just nonsense. Cut it out.
Exactly, Ross. And again, it'll probably result in another thing, and hopefully not any stadium closures or anything like that, because we definitely don't need that. In this run of games, we need every fan, every supporter behind the team. Seeing it on the TV, obviously, I don't know if Barry Mackay, I'm not making an excuse, winded them up at one point of the game, but he didn't annoy me. He's not like an ex-Ranger player who gets on my nerves, and there's plenty out there. He's just Barry Mackay. that's all he is to me. And I don't know why they took issue with him. And even if they did take issue, just shout at him, chant at him like they always usually do. But throwing battles and throwing objects is just uncalled for.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Barry Mackay or Chris Boyd. You just shouldn't throw stuff at a player on the pitch. As much as, again, a half brick would do for Chris Boyd, you're not going to do it.
Well,
it's that's how I feel. But it's just bringing shame on the club, and it just makes the whole support look daft, because, as they always do, the media and whoever else will tar us all with the same brush. So it's no needed.
That's the sort of thing that frustrates the life out of me as a Celtic fan, and it's from the outside in, people that have no interest in football. When it comes to Celtic and the Rangers, it's everything's about sectarianism or abuse or just all this sort of stuff. And us, the majority is football fans. We just love our football and we love our club, and we want to watch the games, and it annoys the life out of me, because the common theme, or whatever people from the outside think, is that's what it's all about, and it's not. We love football and we love our club. We're not interested in any of that, and that's the sort of stuff that brings it in a repute, and it frustrates the life out of me.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think we all echo it in the podcast. Just don't be doing super stuff like that, lads, and continue what you're doing, all the good stuff, and keep that up. But does cut it all out in terms of throwing objects and things like that. It's just not needed around Celtic Park. And look, we'll move on obviously to the weekend's game that Ross didn't know was happening, but we're playing Dundee United.
I couldn't mind.
We're actually all going to watch it together,
I know. I just totally forgot. I've got the big Kerrydale Sweet Christmas podcast night out on my mind.
We might not see the game, to be fair.
Well,
that could be a sketchy one. Don't worry about that. But like we're playing Dundee United at Handley's, William, and I mean the Storm apparently wrecked one of their stands, and it was a bit touch and go if it would go ahead. But Dundee United have confirmed that it will go ahead, but one of their stands will be closed. I don't know if that affects the away support. Not quite sure the name of the stand, so it's the away stand. Yeah. That'll be closed.
I think it's mentioned it in the game tonight that there's going to be some away fans that they'll have to get their tickets even burst or something. So
yeah, so obviously the allocation of the away support will be down. But get into the game, obviously, off the back of this victory, a couple of hard fought wins. Dundee United, they drew 1 each of Ross County, and then they'd lost 1-0 to Motherwell in their last game. They're not on good form themselves. I mean, plenty of people rave about their manager, Tam Courts, to say he's a good tactician. The early form was good in the league. They've got an ex-Celt and Charlie Mulgrew, all that kind of thing. But how are you feeling into the game?
I think it'll be much the same as the last two games. I think, like you said, they've had a good start. They've not been great going forward, but they've been shutting up shop at the back. So I think it'll be similar to this game, the Hearts game, and the Aberdeen game. I think we'll have to break them down, but I don't see them causing us too much threat going forward. I actually watched their game on Tuesday night against Motherwell, and they didn't look up to much at all. So, saying that, I think they've been quite inconsistent all year, so that they can turn up on the day and do the business. But I think we'll be more capable of breaking them down and getting another win, another 3 points, and keep trying to put the pressure up on their neighbours.
I take it, William, that was the game that Tony Watt scored that fantastic goal, was it?
What a goal, by the way. You see it?
I seen it, but I didn't realise who they were playing until I actually spoke it out there in my mouth.
That was it.
He's the top scorer in the league now, by the way.
I know.
He is. Would you take him?
Nah.
In a fight?
No. Why do you always want to fight people, man? Back at Celtic.
By the way, they played them. Motherwell played them on the left wing on Tuesday night as well, and he worked his socks off. So I think he's maybe got to a point in his life where he's actually cut out all the nonsense outside of football, and he's concentrating on the football, and it's obviously paying dividends.
He looks like he's found these. Like I found a kind of place with Motherwell.
Aye. Yeah. But I mean, talk about Dundee United again, Ross. They're fourth in the table, so fourth best team in terms of form at the moment. League standing as well. Got some good players in their team. I think William's right. The script of the game will always go Celtic will have possession, tail off after 30 minutes, bit of a ding dong, and there'll be probably a single goal in it. That's the way it probably is going to go, isn't it?
Well, it really depends if Celtic are more clinical than they were the night. If they start off like they started the night and they're more clinical, it could be a comfortable day. If they don't take their chances early, then that's when it starts to get a bit more difficult, and then Dundee United start coming back into the game. So if Celtic start in the front foot like they usually do, they need to be clinical in that first 20 minutes in every game domestically, and if they are, they'll blow teams away most of the time. But if they're not, that's when they start to struggle, and that's when I was going to say found wanting. No found wanting, because the other night they weren't found wanting. They got over the line. So every single game, I think how it's going to go. You could say about any game of football really hinges on the first 20 minutes. And if Celtic are clinical in the first 20 minutes, half an hour, it takes the game away for lesser teams. So that's what we need to do.
I think what possibly could affect the game as well if Jada is out and you're having to switch. If Mikey Johnson plays, I hope not. Again, not to pigeonhole the fella. But I mean, as you look for your hands there, Ross. But I will say before we go on to line up the score predictions, everyone knows now, it's well out there that we've been invited to take part in the Celtic State of Mind charity weekender over the 4th and 5th of December. So this weekend coming, this goes out on the Friday, so the day after and the Sunday. And fellas, you were involved in Are we recording for a show for the Celtic State of Mind, guys? Anthony hosting, Franny, William, and Ross yourself. How was it?
It was really good, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought Anthony done a stellar job taking the reins and sitting in your seat, so to speak. And it was really good to go over a season old and reminisce and actually think back to when life used to be good when you were 18.
And yourself, William, did you enjoy the wee special we done for the Celtic State of Mind, guys?
I did. Really appreciate him having us on, and it's all for a great cause. So, guys, if you're watching, get on it at the weekend. And I know it's Christmas time, but even a couple of quid, just try and donate because it's for a great cause. But with regards to the pod, it was absolutely superb. It's gone down memory lane, like Ross was saying there. Back to the good times. I know I don't look old enough because it was 20 years ago, but it was incredible. What are you laughing
at? As the light shines off his head.
that camera's HD, by the way, and there's not a blemish on there. Going back and talking about that team, which was the best in our lifetime for me, so it was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and obviously the viewers will know, William, recently you've had a new style in your podcast. You've been in a bunker, secret location, and you've actually decorated the bunker with some nice flags behind you there. But just to let you guys know who are listening and watching, these flags appeared first on the Celtic State of Mind special that we done, so that's a wee bit of Endless Celts Podcast trivia for you all for the quiz we have planned soon. But again, guys, get into the weekend's game. Obviously, 9 up and score prediction as we always do. Ross, and I'll come to yourself for it first.
Lineup wise, again, like we've touched on, it's all going to hinge on the next couple of days and what the news comes out, who's going to be fit, who's going to be not. I think it's fair to say that it looks like Jota's a hamstring injury, so I don't think he'll be fit. Carter Vickers, you don't know, but with the knowledge I've got now, then you would have to say Hart and goals, Starfelt, Beaton.
Very limited knowledge, Ross.
Shots fired, Stephen.
I think that'll be 2-1, is it?
I think it could be, aye. See you later. Aye, well played. So Hart and goals, I think. I'd go Juranovic on the right, Montgomery left, Starfelt and Beaton, and then Rogic, Turnbull, McGregor, Forrest on the left, Kyogo, and Abada. And
Adaba.
I'm going to go 3-1 Celtic.
Oof, 3-1. Go ahead, William, what about you?
I think it'll be, barring the injuries, I think it'll be the exact same team that Ross has just said.
Pure
I'd like
laziness.
to see us now that Rogic, well, you know me. Now that Rogic is back, I'd like to see us playing a bit more. Like, I know Andrew's style is to get out to the wings. It's funny that we're sitting talking about that, and it's about hitting the wings. And Kyogo's our number one, and we're talking about how like a target man like a Jan Vennegoor Hesselink would be perfect in this, and we've got a 5'0" that's built like a twiglet up front, and that's who. And he's our number one striker. It's bonkers. I think with Rogic in the team now, driving for that midfield, I'd love to see us trying to play in between. With Kyogo's movement in between one of the fullbacks and the centre half, if he's getting in there and just slipping on more and trying to get on one-on-one with the keeper. So I think Rogic is going to be massive coming back. I think we'll win 2-0.
Ooh, 2-0. Nice one. I'm going to go Hart, Juranovic, Starfelt, Vickers. Hopefully he's back. Montgomery. Going to go James McCarthy to come back in with Rogic and McGregor. Up top, Abada, Kyogo, and Forrest. I think it's pretty. You can pick itself when you get them injuries. Like, do you know what I mean? Score prediction. I'll go 2-1 Celtic. I think it'll be a tight game, and I think there'll be goals on both ends. I can't imagine Dundee United will sit back the whole game, especially being a Tanley, so want to give their fans something to shout about. So 2-1 I'll go for. But in terms of the show, fellas, That's us finished. But we'll move on to the quiz, which I've really badly prepared in my own head here. So this could go horribly wrong or really
in your
good.
head.
Oh, Jesus.
In my head.
How do we
my
even know the
head.
answer? How do we know the answers are right that you've got in your head?
I don't even know the answers. So I'm asking you guys.
That's what I was saying.
Is that a Yuri
Right.
Yarasek special?
Oh, that could be one. That could be one.
Oh
100%.
God.
Right, let's go for it. Obviously, 5 questions, first to 3. Who won the most recent Ballon d'Or?
Messi.
Messi.
1-0. Who's Celtic's number 8?
Kyogo.
1
Aye.
each. 3 players from the offensive for Celtic. Who were they?
What? What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Ralston,
Welsh and
Jota,
Jota.
and Welsh.
2-1.
I didn't even hear what you fucking said. This is an
Right, you
uproar.
ready? You ready?
Aye. Don't speak
Hearts
so
have a
quick,
former. Hearts have a former Celtic goalkeeper. Who is it?
Craig Gordon.
Craig Gordon.
3-1 Ross.
Mad.
Boom. No,
Okay, fair enough.
for me in my own head, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I was a bit shaky there. I was hoping you weren't going to keep going and going. So I'm glad Ross cleaned up there. And obviously for the people who are listening to us as well, just subscribe, hit the bell, notify when we go live. It's totally free. We're building our subscriber base, and hopefully people are enjoying it because we're really enjoying it too. And fellas, next on our agenda is the Christmas night out at the Carrydale Suite. Who's looking forward to that one?
Oh,
I am.
hold me back. 3-piece suit. 3-piece suit and an overnighter with the boys. God almighty, you couldn't be right there.
Me and William spooning. Looking forward to that.
This may be the last time you see me on this podcast, folks.
Kenny.
I might not make it out alive.
But to the people as well, get stuck into the Celtic City Mine Charity Weekender.
Definitely.
All the proceeds go to the St Mary's Parish, who help families in poverty, which again we spoke about this before, shouldn't be happening in this day and age. But just get on it, donate what you can, and look out for your own, as they say. So until we speak again, stay well and keep safe. Hail, hail.